Good kings to my city steps. You insult my queen.
Well, Gerard Butler and his abs both became household names after their appearance in the movie 300. Since then, he's racked up a list of starring roles from romantic comedies alongside Hilary Swank and Katherine Heigl, Jennifer Aniston, among others, and to popular animated films like How to Train Your Dragon. In his new film, he takes on the gritty role of machine gun preacher, the touching story of real-life pastor Sam Childers, a former drug addict convict who goes to Sudan to build homes but becomes dedicated to repairing the horrors of the atrocities that he sees there, especially the children. Gerard Butler joins us in studio this morning. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
He's real anxious to be up early with us this morning.
Who doesn't love being up early?
This is great.
You don't look like a guy who would be called Gerard. Do you go by Gerard?
No, Jerry's good for me.
Jerry's good.
Yeah.
All right, I like that.
Americans have a hard time pronouncing that. Is that why you had to switch it up a little
Yeah,
bit?
it's always seemed to be in America a name that goes on forever. You know, Gerard. Right, Jerry, Jerry's fine.
Was I reading correctly that you were a lawyer at one point and then you just met somebody and switched to acting? Is that right?
It's similar, but not quite. I studied law, trained as a lawyer, but that all went south. I never really wanted to do it. So the running into somebody happened after the change. I had now moved down to London to pursue acting. And I was assisting in a job, a theatre job. And the director walked into the coffee shop on the second day in the morning before we started. And I said, hey, can I come in? Can I come in and read for this? He said, yeah, come in. And
Are you shirtless in the coffee shop? Or is it just...
I have done some roles with my top on.
Well, I saw Machine Gun Preacher last night. It's a really powerful film. At times, honestly, a little bit hard to watch because it's violent. I mean, some of the people who may only know you from romantic comedies are really going to be surprised at the grittiness and the honesty of this role. I have to think that that's part of what attracted you to and it's a real life story. Throughout the movie, I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, this really happened.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. That's what made me want to do it. It almost seems unbelievable to when you hear about the atrocities and just how barbaric it is down there. And this man who was a drug addict who completely transforms and ends up building an orphanage, but right in the middle of the Civil War. And who basically went to breakdown from everything he was witnessing. And you're right, sometimes it is hard to stomach, but it's also an incredibly inspiring story to watch what he accomplished.
Are you planning on just doing more dramatic roles now, or are we still going to see a little, this is Sparta? Any of that anymore?
This is Sparta.
Is it all switched and gone now? I'll be a little upset, I don't know.
No, I'm going to keep switching it up all the time. It's just whatever in the moment is exciting me, and this story is incredibly powerful. I actually, the movie that the theatre job that I was telling you about, the first job I ever did was called Coriolanus. It's a Shakespeare play. I just completed the movie with Ralph Fiennes and Vanessa Redgrave, so I have that coming out. But I will be jumping back into comedies, and I'm up for anything.
Oh, good. Good. See? We'll see a little more.
I was going to say, does it make you nervous professionally that all the movies they seem to be computer generated, or they're silly comedies, and here you have a well-told story, and kind of surprised that Hollywood would even make that story?
Yeah, it's just the way it goes. But then, there's always hope. The very fact that Hollywood did make this story, and I think if you really look, there's a lot of stories like that out there. But I think we live in a world where there's such variety of taste that there'll always be room for silly comedies, computer-generated movies, animated movies, dramatic movies. But it does feel really good to be able to tell a story that is very powerful for people to witness. I mean, and it can be life-changing for a lot of people. That's what I've heard from.
So I'm at the theater last night, and I'm standing right next to this guy. He's got a big, bushy mustache. I'm like chomping away on popcorn. And, you notice because he's got this big mustache, and he's kind of a big, burly guy. The movie's over. At the end, they show a picture of the real Sam Childers. It's him, the guy that was like...
At the screening last night.
At the screening last night here in Chicago. What did you get from Sam, from real life Sam? What surprised you from him?
What surprised me? Well, I don't know if you got a chance to talk to him, but you never really come across a guy like Sam anywhere else. Before I met him, I'd heard so much about him. I mean, as you say, he's burly. He's incredibly charismatic. You never quite know what to expect with him. You know, when I first met him in his house, I met him with his family, and he handed me a gun. And I know it was testing me, you know, it was just testing me to make sure that I measured up to what he wanted his character to display. But he's incredibly convincing and brave. I mean, you look at what he's accomplished. Nothing got in his way. He said, "I want to do this, and I want to, you know, I want to do this." What anybody else would call complete insanity. He went to the worst area in Sudan. And has saved hundreds of kids and feeds over 1,000 every day in shelter.
After I saw his story, I was glad I didn't make any noise in the in the theater, and my phone didn't go off or anything. I didn't want to pick him up.
You know, when you were coming in here, on Facebook we posted questions, and of course we get like 150 questions for you, but I would say 99%, who are you dating? Are you married? Are you single? Will you marry me? Is it, are you talking about your personal life anymore these days? The viewers at home want to know.
You know what? I don't go into it too much, but yes, I'll marry you.
It's settled.
That was
everyone out there.
Robin from Chicago. Writing down.
Oh, what have I got myself?
Not too late to run, Gerard. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back.
The name of the movie again, Dean.
Machine Gun Preacher. When does it open?
23rd of September.
There you go.
I think.